Other interesting business news, you have Crayola successfully trademarked the crayon scent after previously being denied, which I was going to say, of all the things to patent and get a trademark on actually specifically, pretty good idea. Makes sense because, again, who doesn't remember the old crayon smell when you were a kid? I mean, there's just some timeless smells you don't forget. Now this comes to us thanks to golfnews.com. And they say specifically, quote, Crayola trademarks the smell of its crayons. The scent is, quote, a slightly earthy soap and pungent leather-like clay undertones. Which, yeah, for a second there, I can almost smell it myself. There you see the cliche crayon boxes there. They say, let's say, quote, you may find yourself smelling crayons in the aisles of the store soon if Crayola's chief executive officer, Pete Ruggiero, gets his way. In July, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office issued a patent to the arts and crafts giant for the smell of crayons, the waxy scent of a childhood spent trying to color within the lines, or more accurately, failing at that, as I usually did. Say, while it was too soon for this back-to-school season, Ruggiero imagines one day bumping through the aisle of retailers, triggering nostalgia while shoppers are browsing and hopefully buy more crayons. That would be an interesting business idea. That'd be a good way to. Yeah. You ever want to get to the science of shopping? One of the most fascinating things is casinos. They are one of the best examples of the use of fragrance technologies, where every casino will have their own patented or trademarked scent. And you see this in other industries as well. It makes sense for, like Bath and Body Works has one, and areas that you kind of associate more with like perfumes. That makes sense. But in this regard, that'd be a pretty unique experience. I'm not sure how the distribution methodology would work in terms of having like an aerosol spray in like a Walmart, and then of course you have to worry about the legal ramifications or how that would work in terms of, I mean, not spraying it on people, it's just in the air. That would be interesting. Now they say Crayola, a unit of Hallmark, first applied for patent in 2018 and was initially turned down less than a year later, but it won its bid on appeal. During the process, the company shared examples of its own crayons as well as competitors to verify distinctiveness. According to the trademark documents, they say, yeah, the leather-like clay undertones. Now, I'm actually pretty fascinated by the breakdown of their sales pipeline or the sales. It says, quote, Crayola sells 30% of the products online at places like Amazon.com, with the other 70% coming from brick and mortar retailers like Walmart, Target, and Staples, which I know, interestingly enough, it seems like everyone thinks e-commerce is the future, and it is a huge player, obviously, but it is interesting for certain products, a majority of the sales is still in a brick and mortar retail establishment. Now they say, quote, Crayola ranks number one in the U.S. sales in the coloring category, which includes colored crayons and pencils, according to Euromonitor, which makes sense. I'm sure there's a discount off brand of Crayola. I mean, even my family had Crayola back in the day. Granted, we weren't like the cool kids with the big box that size like a binder that had like 100 something crayons with a built-in sharpener. That's when you know your parents were really well off and they're probably driving some European car like fancy. Is it just me, or did everyone have that one kid in school where like there's one kid who had that big box of crayons with the sharpener built in? I mean, really marketing. Everyone wanted that little thing that was built in there, but I partially digress. Ruggiero, the CEO, says we've been talking about it for years and wanted to do it even more. The Corolla smell is something, there's a connection between the smell and childhood memories, and it's very powerful. Which, again, in terms of all the patents and trademarks I've seen throughout the years, this one makes 110% sense. It'll be interesting, and let me know, can you smell that? Can you imagine or remember that smell right now? And how do you think they'll use that in terms of the application to increase their sales? And do you think they'll have some novelty items where they'll probably turn into like a cologne or a perfume? I remember, what was it like? Even when I was a kid, there's some Sharper Image catalog. There's someone who actually had the perfume in the scent of Play-Doh, which I mean, it's kind of hilarious and it makes sense. I'm sure they've had a fair amount of sales for that. So I'm not really sure who would buy that, but I'm sure that'd be a fun novelty gift. But leave me in the comments, as always. It would be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.